Uh, and something was happening. Media was everywhere. We were seeing pop-ups from the New York Times, The Guardian, BBC. ChatGPT was going viral. 1 million users in 5 days from launch, 100 million users 2 months from launching. Definitely something more than we expected, the small research lab that we were. And yet, AI isn't something new. You know, you go back in time, you have the Georgetown IBM experiment. Almost 75 years ago, you have IBM computers successfully translating sentences from Russian into English. It's a pioneering effort in natural language processing, a critical domain within AI. Then you see things like Shaky the robot, developed in 1972 by Stanford. Now we have the first robot that's combining mobility perception and problem-solving capabilities. And then here comes social media and the AI that gets infused with it. We're starting to see advancements in AI and in machine learning, enabling more personalized user experiences, more targeted advertising. Suddenly, Netflix knows exactly what you should be binging next. But why does this time feel different? Well, before ChatGPT, AI required a deep understanding of machine learning algorithms, of data science, of programming, which meant that they were not readily accessible to the average user. And this created a significant barrier to entry for non-technical individuals or for businesses who didn't have dedicated AI teams. AI was only accessible to a small portion of the world, and it was candidly a bit of a buzzword for many of us. But OpenAI is democratizing AI by bringing it to the masses. All of a sudden, the common person who had no developer or research skills can now interact with AI and experience its powers. Anyone in the world with access to the internet now has the power of AI behind them. And so the introduction of ChatGPT marked a paradigm shift. We're making AI accessible to a broader audience through user-friendly interfaces, allowing people without deep technical knowledge to leverage the power of AI in everyday applications. And, I was going through and saw this post, and I think it was a Reddit thread, but someone recently noted that ChatGPT coughed, for the first time. There's examples of AI giving human characteristics. I don't know that this is true. I don't think it is, but it does represent an important shift. For the first time, AI is starting to feel human, and it's sparked this widespread interest like never before. So, how did we really get here? We're often asked a little bit more to understand our journey and the background of OpenAI, and so often it can get obfuscated when you think about the broader context of the technology and the impact that it has on the future. And so the path to achieving artificial general intelligence has not been obvious, but it is our mission to ensure that AGI benefits all of humanity. Everything we are doing is centered around this mission, and it is critically important to us that we get this right. Core to that mission is also understanding the economic impacts that our models have on the businesses and the users that are interacting with them, but it hasn't been an overnight occurrence. For those of you that don't know, we started as a research lab in 2015 with the goal to build artificial general intelligence that's benefiting all of humanity. In short, what this means is that AI that can perform work as well or better than humans. And it's worth emphasizing that we have not lost this as a foundation. We're still the ones building this research. We're still on the cutting edge of this technology. But at the end of the day, we know AGI cannot be safely created in a lab. And a core tenet of our mission is distribution, creating products that allow our users to leverage them or build new ones in as innovative a way as possible. And so you see from even just thinking back, maybe a little more than a year ago, we released GPT-4, very likely the most complex piece of software mankind has ever produced so far. When we showed Bill Gates GPT-4, he said there were two moments in his career where he saw a paradigm shift. The first was the graphic user interface, and the second was the day he saw it perform on the biology Olympiad. And even today, we're seeing other models coming out that are close to GPT-4. But it's worth knowing that GPT-4, we finished training over a year ago, and we sat on it and tested it and did this for over 9 months. So it's been years since we last released a major model. And so in thinking about that journey, In 2020, we started releasing our work to the public. And it's important to keep in mind that it's an exponential curve of progress. With every model, they are all compounding with each other. It's not linear progression, it's a giant leap forward. When you think about GPT-3, this was great at 5-second tasks. Get over a blank space, ask a quick question. GPT-4, great at 5-minute tasks. Write an email, reason, research, brainstorm, write a blog post, compose a document, start a brief. And as we think about the future in the world of 5-hour tasks, large parts of someone's day, imagine a world where your own personal AI knows everything about you that you give it access to, your working style, what you're working on. And you connect this with products like ChatGPT that has advanced data analytic capabilities. And now suddenly you're accomplishing longer and more complex tasks, which can save hours or days, even weeks. And you may have seen some news about our model Sora, which creates custom videos for you in minutes, which would have taken a marketing team weeks or even the work of an external agency. In short, increasing the complexity of the models has enabled us to build additional products at breakneck speed, because at our core, we are that research lab, but our research is vertically integrated with product. And as our models progress, our products progress in deeply compounding ways. And I think it's safe to say we're past the point of small iterations. We're now taking exponential leaps forward. And so if we step back and just think, what are the core concepts of generative AI? It's moved quickly in the past 18 months from text in to text out to something that is now truly multimodal in its capability, in the same sense that we as humans are natively multimodal. We can hear, we can see, we can write and understand, we can create images. We instinctively apply combinations of these capabilities to make sense of the world around us. GPT can now do the same. When you prompt it with a question, you don't have to select which underlying foundational model it accesses. It's intuitively selecting the right mix of modalities to answer it. You have text, which is accelerating our understanding of scientific literature and of research. You have vision, which can analyze and understand images. Maybe that's detecting anomalies versus other images, which has been proven in fields such as echocardiology, or where Gen AI assisted diagnostic tools can more accurately diagnose congenital heart disease than human-only systems. Of course, speech, if you've ever used the web app and listened to this modality, as it enhances accessibility for those who can't see and is unlocking novel use cases such as native translation. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then image and video generation. We're in the early stages of seeing where this capability is going to go, but it's been so powerful to see the reaction and the enthusiasm from what it can do. And as we continue this concept of core concepts of Gen AI, we can give you more of OpenAI's perspective. And certainly safety first. This is at the core of everything that we do at OpenAI. We are excited and we're optimistic about the future of AI, but we're very aware of the risks if safety isn't prioritized. We've talked about research and how we're a research lab. We're at the cutting edge. Our training and scaling methodologies are best in class, and GPT-4 Turbo is still the best performing LLM available. We have alignment, where we believe that AI systems should be aligned to the human input, and we are constantly balancing our research between capability generation and alignment. And then applied. Research is not meant to stay in a lab. It cannot safely be created in a lab. It is supposed to be applied. AI is having an enormous impact on society, and it's only through applying our core models across lots of different technical, business, and societal problems that we will be able to sufficiently learn in order to progress the technology. And the most effective way we found to do this so far is by creating products that empower users to be creative with the technology. And then broad distribution of benefits is a core principle and value at OpenAI. It's critically important to the goal of building safe AGI that we allow everyone to access this technology, that we learn from how they use it so that it is representative of all of us. And we will always make versions of our models available for free. And we continually work to drive the cost of these models down so that we can improve accessibility. And so many of my conversations are with organizations, with businesses, with large enterprises. And what they come to us is with, when we're thinking about generative AI and how it will transform our business, we're asking ourselves these questions. Are we AI enabled or are we AI native? An AI-enabled enterprise adopts generative AI technology. They use it to enhance or to optimize existing process or products or services. Generative AI is acting as an added layer to the traditional business framework. It's improving efficiency, creativity, decision-making. It might not be fundamentally altering the core business model. You can think of this as tactical or task-based leveraging of AI. AI native, in contrast, you have a Gen AI native enterprise that's built from the ground up with generative AI at its core. This means that Gen AI is integral to its primary products, to its services, to its processes. The business model and the operational strategies are deeply intertwined with and heavily reliant on generative AI capabilities, such so that if Gen AI ceased to exist, there would have to be a new way reinvented to do things. And the technology is already at a point where you should be thinking this way. And so deploying Gen AI across your organization, but not having it natively embedded across all aspects of the business is probably akin to having a computer without an operating system. It might still be able to execute distinct tasks, but your productivity in one area may not be linked to other areas. And other businesses who do embrace Gen AI natively will move faster. And so one thing we often discuss with customers involves the tactical elements of Gen AI transformation. I won't pretend that this is a one-size-fits-all approach, but what I can share are some approaches or rules of thumb that we have seen emerge that generally seem to help shape the way customers think about their journey. Speed over quality. Companies that move fast and iterate will learn more than those who wait for it to be perfect. That's not to say that you let quality drop entirely. It's important to care about quality. It challenges us and our competitors to be better and build incredible things. Deploy and iterate. Perfect is the enemy of the good. The field and the technology is evolving at an incredible pace. So consistently evaluating your use of Gen AI internally on a regular cadence is essential to ensuring you're getting the most from it. And then build versus buy. It's a fair question. We get it very often. We, of course, build and ship pretty quickly. We have a proven track record of that. Our general guidance is buy general purpose and build custom. Unless you have use cases that are highly unique, we often recommend buying for general purpose productivity gains, enabling your organization with AI with something like ChatGPT Enterprise or the team. And you can see productivity lifts, building GPTs for lightly tailored experiences. But then you have the API when you're ready to fine tune, to customize, or to build capability into a product natively. And so crawl, walk, run is a fair approach, but it is not without its risks of opening yourself up to disruption by those who move faster. That's the idea when we think about native versus enabled. And so when it comes to what that can mean in practice, we think about this in pillars in many ways. Enhancing productivity with Gen AI tools across departments. This is a critical first step for building a future where generative AI is at the core of everything you do. You have to create this native, intuitive knowledge of how these tools work across all functions of the business. Imagine if only one team in your company knew how to use Excel, for example. And so the best way to do this is by putting the technology in people's hands, in the subject matter experts' hands, and letting the use cases emerge. Let it augment their creativity. And we've seen our customers time and again be amazed at what comes from that. Upgrading products and processes using Gen AI for better automation and personalization. One thing that we often hear and generally subscribe to is when you think about communicating your intent, applying constraints, or suggesting the properties of what successful execution can look like, and then focus your team on finding the best possible solution. Driving innovation and leveraging proprietary data sets to defend yourself against disruption. I think a widely held view in the industry is that, we may run out of meaningful original data. This will require us as technology creators to get more creative in how we think about leveraging synthetic data. But I think hidden in this statement is this opportunity for enterprises with proprietary data, building GPTs with access to that data, or even training completely custom models from scratch. These can represent really compelling competitive differentiation and provide defense against disruption in the event that general purpose LLMs continue to improve. And in general, preparing for a Gen AI driven future, partner with industry leaders. The combination of these first three sets you up for success and truly having Gen AI embedded at the core of your business as a native capability. But partnership with industry leaders can be very critical here. Training and building an LLM, it's an exact science. The scaling laws, the engineering involved in training GPT-4 can best be analogized to precision engineering in the context of building a rocket. If things get even slightly wrong, it might not work. And so the field is developing at a truly unprecedented speed. And even those who are purely focused on generative AI will have their challenges, but you have to be as it relates to ensuring the core business can keep pace. And OpenAI is engaging with a number of different partners and experiments with industry leaders to build custom models for specific verticals to better assess whether they will be able to effectively compete with general purpose LLMs. And so it's for this reason that we work with so many companies to identify where to start. And thankfully, that barrier to entry is easier than some realize because the introduction of ChatGPT marked that paradigm shift, making AI accessible to that broader audience through user-friendly interfaces and allowing people without deep technical knowledge to leverage it. And so we've seen this democratization of AI broadening usage, broadening impact, but we do realize that it leaves a lot of questions unanswered when it comes to how do businesses actually engage with OpenAI? What does the enterprise offering look like? And so we can talk about that. It's important to note you have clear paths at OpenAI when it comes to how you engage with us and the way that you can leverage our products, and both are enterprise grade. You have ChatGPT Enterprise, where you have multimodalities, access to GPTs. This is where you can see immense lifts to internal productivity across your organization and can be an incredible way to start introducing AI to your team. This is giving the power to every single one of your internal employees when it comes to a chief of staff, a super assistant, a data scientist in their pocket. And they can achieve a level of internal efficiency that sets the tone for the entire org. But then you have the API, a playground for how you want to build your own products and solutions. You can access all of our core models and infuse AI through your own technologies. And many of our customers are doing both. With both of these products, they're enterprise grade. They offer the highest levels of enterprise grade security and data privacy attestation. And in both of these, you own your data, you control your data. We do not train on your data with our enterprise products. And we've seen over 90% of the Fortune 500 already using our products between ChatGPT and the API platform. And one of the core reasons is something that we do not take for granted. It's the partnership between OpenAI and the customers that we work closely with. This is something that we take really seriously, and BCG and Klarna are but a few examples of this. We know there is nothing more important than security and trust. It's why we have sprinted at building a world-class security team and have put in many of the necessary controls that enterprise organizations not only come to expect, but they view as table stakes. Many of the most security-conscious companies in the world are trusting us with their most sensitive information. And as many of you attending can likely attest, you know that we're here every step of the way, from eval to success. And we do speak from experience. We're fortunate to have had a firsthand look at how nearly every company in the world is transforming with AI, which is why we've created a model to help our customers think through their journey. From left to right, you see most people start with this individual productivity. Simplest terms, ChatGPT free or plus. But people start to call us when they get to the stage of team productivity. Where we're focused now is democratizing custom AI with GPTs. The concept of the GPT is like a small workflow. You have business users that are training GPTs, the models, for specific tasks with no code required. And anyone on this call would be able to create a transformative GPT in the next 5 minutes. With them, you're rethinking business process from the ground up. You're empowering the people at your company who know the problems and how to solve them best. It becomes an engine for tapping into your employees for innovation. And as we move from left to right, this is really where we see the concept of AI native come in. Companies start deeply impacting not just internal, but external products with AI. Areas like customer service, recommendations, knowledge management, marketing automation. And then as you get to the far right, which admittedly, right now, not as many companies will be here or need to be, but building your own models and training your own models can be very powerful. It doesn't have to be for everyone, but it's a compelling way to think about the technology. The easiest way is to put AI in the hands of every employee. Over time, do more advanced things. fine-tune a model, develop a custom model, get more intelligence. And this has opened up opportunities for a wide range of teams and industries and individuals to leverage AI for personalized use cases, making AI technology more accessible and customizable than ever before. And when it comes to which use cases, I know from experience that customers can be challenged when it comes to something like ChatGPT for enterprise, not because they're in search of a use case so much, but because they know that there are so many and they're rightfully focused on what will drive the most impact and showcase ROI in a way that will help justify the investment in something like ChatGPT Enterprise within their context of a Gen AI strategy, so that they know they can go out and see the meaningful returns necessary for something like this. And GPTs have been really powerful in helping with that. You're combining instructions and expanded knowledge and actions. These are more helpful and bespoke to you so that different users can work better in different contexts, giving you more control. They'll make it easier for you to accomplish all kinds of tasks or just have fun. In addition to using the built-in capabilities of GPTs, you can create custom actions and make APIs available to the GPT. You can now integrate with external data or interact with the real world, connecting GPTs to databases, making them your assistant, pulling information from data sources or from your SharePoints or your Google Drives, Snowflake databases. Consider your GPT's knowledge as custom information that either isn't present in the base model's pre-training data or might be present but outdated. You can always upload files to your GPT's knowledge base, or you can connect them via GPT's custom actions to a data source, pull your data in that way. And thankfully, even though ChatGPT Enterprise is still not yet 1 year old, we've been doing this long enough to give you guidance on where to start and what to build so that you can feel confident deploying this across your organization and know that from the moment you announce to the team that you're partnering with AI, you'll know how to leverage this tool in a way that's relevant to the work and how it's measured, and start with either low-hanging fruit or more complex GPTs that you can roll out across your team. And it is with this in mind that we dedicate meaningful resources to our enterprise customers with a focus on the people, on process, on technology. As transformative as the technology is, we're deeply mindful of the fact that it's nothing without the people in place to leverage it with process, with purpose, with subject matter expertise. And now, with hundreds and hundreds of enterprise customers using ChatGPT Enterprise, we continue to refine how we enable and support and innovate alongside them to help them use the technology so that they can impact and achieve the most important objectives of their business. And when customers start down this journey, we've seen the proof in the pudding, and the results can be very remarkable. We're seeing major strides in productivity and quality of work. You can see BCG rolling ChatGPT out across their consultants. They measured the effectiveness on ChatGPT compared to those who did not. Those who had access finished more tasks on average. They completed tasks more quickly. But the most important outcome from this study is that it unlocked higher quality work and upskilled every employee that was using AI. Or you have a customer like Holiday Extras who reported millions of dollars or $500,000 in annual savings when they rolled out ChatGPT across their organization. And there's some really mind-blowing creations out there, whether that's from the likes of Spotify, who are translating podcasts into additional language, all in the podcaster's voice. Or an example where you have Coca-Cola inviting artists around the world to use first-of-a-kind AI platform, generating original artwork with iconic creative assets from their archives. But despite all that's been accomplished, we're joyfully aware of how early it is in the journey. Today's frontier models are the result of compounded research wins for 8+ years, but this does not help us do something that the human brain is ill-equipped for, which is sort of understanding this concept of exponential improvement, development, leaps forward. We're understandably familiar with even the most innovative of companies shipping some most amazing products that when you see, even in the history of time developing software, that there usually is this leveling out or optimizing period. But because our research is vertically integrated with our products and their capabilities, you should have high expectations for the exponential improvements that come from the advancements of the technology. And so that's definitely what we would want to leave you with today, as well as this quote, which is, you essentially have the knowledge of the most knowledgeable person instantly, which we believe is a transformative capability from our company, which we thought was a really great quote from Jeff at Morgan Stanley. So that concludes my time. Really appreciate everyone listening in. Thank you very much for having me, Ron. I'm going to end it here.